Hey there, welcome back to yet another session on this channel. You know what? I'm inclined to believe that this topic or this session is the most awaited one or the most requested one through emails, comments, LinkedIn posts. This is around the patent drafting questions appearing in the patent agent examination, also known as P2C3, lovingly the 30 marker. So let's call this session P2C3 drafting applications. How to. So before we jump into solving the questions, let's spend a couple of minutes in understanding or recalling the sections of a patent application. So as you can see, a patent application is divided into multiple sections. These are the title, field of the invention, background of the invention, the summary of the invention, the detailed description that you need to provide, the advantage sections, the claims, the most important one, and the abstract. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in detailing out the requirement for each of this section because in this particular video, I have gone into detail in terms of what all needs to go in these sections and what is the basic formats of these sections. So please visit this video. It would be a good starter. So with the basic details in hand, let's get started. Now, as we know, a patent application will be considered complete when all these sections have relevant information. But the basic question remains as it is. From where do we find the relevant information? In the earlier format, which was a jumbled up version of a patent application, we would plug out some information and plug into the relevant section. And that's how we would call it as an open book exam. Now the format has changed. The information that is provided is too thin and too little. But you know what? You may not believe when I say it. The new version is much simpler and much straightforward than what it was earlier. Now the information is given in a much structured manner. This is how you receive information in real life. There is a problem statement, there are existing solutions, there are challenges to it, then there is an objective of your invention, then how do you meet those objectives, the implementation details, and what are the technical advantages that you are able to achieve through your invention. This is how an inventor would kind of express his invention to you. So it's very easy now to follow the invention, to underline the components, to underline the details, and to find relevant information for the sections that we are looking for. So how do we do it? Let's see. So first, when you read through the disclosure, the first few sentences, the challenges part, is nothing but your background section. You can take the information as it is and put it as a background section. You may want to maybe enhance the structured connections, may want to add a couple of more sentences if you think you have some knowledge about it. And that's about it. You talk about problem statement, you talk about existing solutions, which is given in the question, and you talk about the shortcomings. And then finally, you tell about why your invention is needed. There is therefore a need for a system and method for solving the above mentioned problems, isn't it? So still remains the same. While you read, you will also realize that they have categorically mentioned what is the objective of the invention. What does the invention want to do? So that is nothing but your title of the invention. That can also be used as the preamble of your claim, right? And as you go down, you will see how exactly they are doing it. They would have listed down the name of the components, the functionality of the components, maybe the steps, method steps, and what is achieved out of those method steps. Though these are nothing but the body of the claim, the components, the wherein clause, which says that this is the functionality of it, the method steps, this is what the method step results in, right? So with the information that is provided, you are able to come up with your system claim, process claim, apparatus claim, isn't it? Now, once you have your system claim or method claim, it gives you a summary. Now, what is a summary? Summary is a plain English version of your claim. This also gives you the abstract. Abstract also is a single or simple English version of your claim. So you got so many sections out there by itself. Now, what do we do about the detailed description? Now, all the implementation details which are there, those are nothing but the description. The way you need to write is come up with a structure. If you are able to draw figures, now figures could be the block diagrams where you say system, another simple box, you can name those boxes. You will get to know all about it when we go through the example. Referring to all this, you just provide the way system functions with the help of all these components and with the method steps. That's your detailed description. And at the bottom, they have given you technical advantages. These are nothing but the advantages of your system, which you write at the bottom. So with this, you will have all the relevant information which is needed to come up with your application. Not satisfied? Would want to go through an example to understand it? Let's go ahead. So this is the first question, question 10A from the Patent Agent Examination 2024. You can pause and read through the question, and then I'll help you to decode the question. So the invention is around runway length, which at times or at places may not be adequate enough for safe operations of aircrafts. So we would want to provide a system, a method or a solution to overcome such challenges, to achieve the economic growth, to achieve the technical advancement. So if you see the invention disclosure, the structure is so well maintained. It starts with the background section, provides the existing solutions, provide the problems also, which I have highlighted and categorically mentioned as background. As you move forward, it also talks about what is the objective of the invention. They would want to come up with some solution to it, right? Which can give us title, which can give us the preamble for our claim. And then it goes about the implementation detail and categorically provides us the components, the rockets, the avionic system and the thrust control. So these are the major components which are there in the system, which would help the system to overcome the problem which is there. And finally, they provide all the technical advantages, which are not the implementation details, but these are the technical advancements to kind of justify the inventive step, justify the economic benefits which the invention is providing. So take a pause and see how I have dissected the invention disclosure to retrieve the information from it. So now the next step is to come up with the entire patent application and using the information which is provided, because we don't have hell lot of a time at hand to go on drafting a very beautiful application and elaborate application. We don't have content, we don't have time. So we will be using the information provided. So if you ask me, have I done the best that I could do for this invention? No. But have I done the best that I could do with the invention, with the information provided and for the time that is there? Definitely yes. And you should also do it. Now the next step is to write the patent application in the examination. So what section should we start with? See, ideally we should start with title followed by background with the information that is already there, and then the detailed description, claims and abstract. But I would want you to take a different approach. Start with claims. Don't write the claims on your answer sheet as in the first section itself, but have a rough page somewhere and draft the claim for it. Once you have understood the objective of the invention and what are the main components and what is the basic claim, again here, don't go for that rock star claim. The claim which covers the basic components that they have provided here, the method steps that they have provided here. And with that, you will be able to get summary, abstract, and in fact your detailed description also. So start with claim somewhere in your notebook, okay? And use our previous video to learn how to draft the claim if you have any confusion around it. So with this approach in mind, let's start the question. So the first that you need to do is draw this format as you attempt to write the answer. Now this is Form 2 format. You should remember the format of it. You write Form 2, you write Patent Act, you write patent rules, and then you write the title, you write the applicant details. Applicant details are not provided, but have this format. And then at the end you write that this is a complete specification and there is a preamble for complete specification. You can remember this. So this should be your first page as such, right? So let's go section by section now, starting with title. Title can be obtained by the objective of the invention as provided in the disclosure. So for this particular case, I came up with two versions. First is method and system for integrating rocket propellants in aircraft. Propellant is the word which was not there in the disclosure, but then because we are talking about thrust, propellant comes as a natural word. May or may not come, you can take your own decision. Second version was rocket assisted aircraft system for short runway operations. Now here we are providing the technology and problem statement all together. You can take your own call. From the objective, whatever title that you think suits the best, you can pick that up. Now, as I said, we will attempt the claims first, even though in rough. The question has asked us to draft two claims. Now it could be two independent claims, one independent claim and a dependent claim. So let's get started. We should start with a format which says I, we claim. Then the claim starts, which says a system claim basically. A rocket assisted aircraft system comprising components. First component is a plurality of rocket propulsion unit. They talked about rockets integrated into the aircraft. We don't know the numbers, hence a plurality of rocket propulsion units integrated with the aircraft. Second module is the avionic module. What it is configured to monitor the runway conditions. Third is the most important one, which takes the decision, which is the thrust control module. Now this is connected to who? The plurality of propulsion units, because it is controlling them. On what basis does it control? It takes input from the avionic module. What is the condition? And based on the condition, it adjusts the thrust to be provided by the propulsion units during takeoff and landing, right? And we have ended the claim by saying thereby reducing required runway length for aircraft operation, because that's the technical advancement of our invention, right? Now we have to draft a dependent claim. Now if you go through the disclosure, we don't have any further details about any of these components, as in any further details, right, which we can use as a dependent claim. So I thought, why not just write a method version of this claim, which is much easier because that's a copy paste of it. How do we do it? So here is the method version of it. A method for operating a rocket assisted aircraft. What does it do? First, we monitor the condition. Based on the monitoring conditions, we determine what is the thrust level this is required. And third, we control the plurality of propulsion units based on the required thrust for either landing or taking off. So this is how your claims will be. In the questions, they have also asked us to come up with diagrams. So can we come up with diagrams? Yes, once we have claim, we can come up with anything. So from the system claim, we can come up with a system diagram. It's nothing but a line diagram, a black box sort of, where we have a system. Within the system box, we have multiple sub-modules which are connected to each other. We give them the names, we give them the numbers, and we know the objective of it. So that would be your system diagram. This is how it looks. So we have a big box, which is nothing but our rocket assisted aircraft. We have multiple boxes in it, and we have given the name, and we have also made the connections between them to emphasize how they interact with each other. So this is your system diagram. Now, since we have method claims, we can also come up with a flowchart, because method claim has steps. So the flowchart has all these steps going step by step. And we will use these diagrams to explain our invention. So with the help of the claims, we were able to come up with multiple sections of the application. But to complete the answer, we are going to go step by step, starting with the field of the invention. The format of the field of the invention is the invention generally relates to, you write the broader technical domain. In this case, it is aviation technology. More specifically, the invention relates to, you can copy your title here, or you can write the solution that you're providing or the problem that you're solving. It is nothing but you are enabling aircraft operation on a shorter runway. How? By providing an enhanced propulsion system, right? So you can come up with the language around it. Moving on, the background. As I mentioned earlier, I have taken the background from the challenges part that they had mentioned in the disclosure itself. Maybe here and there you can enhance a line. So I have done that, and I ended the background by saying, therefore there is a need for a system that enables standard aircraft to operate safely and efficiently from shorter runways. So you can come up with a need of your invention, right? So this is how you would end your background section. Now, once you are done with your background section, you can move to the summary section. Now, as we discussed earlier, summary can be directly obtained by converting claim into simple English. The format is given here. The invention provides a method and system for the preamble that you write. From here on, you write what your system includes. The system includes the first component which does this. Further, the system includes the second component which does this. Additionally, the system includes the third component which does this. So this way you will provide the summary of your invention. Now, if you were able to come up with few drawings for your invention, then in the next section you will talk about brief description of the drawings. How do you do? This is one of the format. You just provide some information of the drawings also. So figure 1 illustrates a drawing depicting a block diagram of a system for doing something in accordance with an embodiment of an invention. Now we end this with this particular disclaimer because we don't want our invention to be limited to this particular drawing that we have given. Similarly, you can provide brief detail about the method flow chart also. Illustrates a flow chart for method steps for doing something in accordance with an embodiment of an invention, of the invention, sorry. Now we will go towards the detailed description. We will provide detailed description with the help of the figures that we have come up with. We start the section by providing an introduction to the invention. Again, the invention provides solution for overcoming a challenge. This again I have picked from the invention disclosure only. I think the last paragraph or somewhere around it. After this, we start with figure 1. We provide the introduction of figure 1 again, the way we provided brief description. We copy paste here, we write it again here. After that, we provide introduction to the all system elements which are there in the diagram, basically our claim components, right? So the format is the system number 100 includes, you write component 1 number, component 2 number, component 3 number, full stop. After this, you come up with a paragraph which introduces all the system components as appearing in the system claim. In our case, the system diagram also, followed by their numbers. Basically, system 100 includes component 1 number, component 2 number, and component 3 number. After this, paragraph by paragraph, you take each component and its functionality. Let's say in our case, we start with the avionic module. We say avionic module 102 configured to, what does it do? Monitors runway. After it has monitored the runway, it shares the detail with who? The thrust control module 104. What does it do? It actually determines what could be the thrust that needs to be provided. And who does it provide to? It provides to the plurality of propulsion units 106, and I have numbered them because there are n number of it. Now there are two use cases here. First is when there is taking off, another one is when it's landing. So what I have done is I have broken them down into two paragraphs. Again, the information is from the disclosure only. I have not done anything else, right? So I have just started with one paragraph which says, for instance, during taking off, what do we do? And similarly, during landing, what do we do? So with this, our system description is over with appropriate numerals. Moving to the description of the method flow. So here also we start with figure 2 illustrates a flow chart for we provided, and then we start with method steps where we say at step 202 what happens, at step 204 what happens, at step 206 what happens. So whatever you did there, you can again do here. Repetitions are allowed. So with this, our description is over. We will move to the technical aspect of the invention, which they have provided in multiple lines. We'll just use them as it is, but with a format. So the format is the method and system is advantageous as it. See what is the technical advantage that they have provided there. Write it here. Is there another technical advantage? Then we write. Further, the method and system is advantageous in that it Is there any other advantage that is there? Additionally, the method and system is advantageous as it provides. You keep doing it. At the end, you say patent agent, name and sign. After this, we will put our claims that we have already drafted in the format as IV claim, claim 1, and then we will write claim 2 followed by abstract. Abstract again is nothing but an English translation of the claim that we had written. The method and system is disclosed for, or disclosed is a method and system for. The system includes component. The system also includes another component for doing something. Additionally, the system includes component for doing something. Thereby, system improves something or solves a problem. So with this, your patent application is over with relevant information to each section that they asked for in place. So don't you think it was still an open book exam? No. Why? We used sentence by sentence, structure by structure, the information that was provided by them in the question while we come up with the patent application. So for me, it was still an open book exam because I don't have time, I don't have additional information to write anything more or to assume anything more. How can I assume anything around an invention, right? So I think it was still an open book exam and in a much more efficient and structured manner. It made our life much easier now. Let's take another question. So this was another option given in the paper in the exam 2024. The invention is around coming up with the composite material for vehicle manufacturing. Here also they have provided with the challenges, existing solutions, and what is the objective that they want to do, how would they do it, the implementation details are there, and the technical advantages. So let's decode the question. So as highlighted, we are able to derive background information, we are able to derive information for our title, our claim preamble. We are also able to identify the claim components because they are coming up with a composite material. So there is element 1, then there is element 2, the carbon reinforcement, and how these two, element 1 and element 2, are combined together because they have categorically mentioned innovative, additive and molding methods they have used. So that's a giveaway. So that's our implementation also. And finally, they have given us the technical details. That doesn't help us with our claims, but then these are the advantage sections that we would write at the end. So what section will you work on first? You can work on title first, followed by background, and so on and so forth. But what did we decide? We will always take a shot at the claim first because claim will give us a better understanding of the invention, which will help us to structure the application in a proper manner. So while we draft the claim preamble will give us the title also. So what could be the title of this invention? Because the invention relates to composite material of element 1 and element 2, we can go with that title which says titanium wire and carbon fiber composite material for vehicle construction. It could be automobile construction also. This could be your title. Let's work on the claims. Now in this question also we have been asked to draft 2 claims. Now if you read the disclosure, they have provided detail about the composite material. What all is there in that composite material and how this composite material is manufactured. So we can write one apparatus claim which is nothing but the product claim, composite material claim itself, and another claim would be the method to come up with such composite material. So how do we start? We start with the format IV claim and we write a composite material for vehicle construction. For vehicle construction may or may not required, but you can write it. Comprising, we write the first element of the composition which is nothing but titanium wire. It's a primary structure material. See, I'm using all the information that they have provided. I may ignore this also, but I wanted to make use of all the information that is there. Second is carbon fiber reinforcement, which is integrated with the titanium wire. And how have they integrated it? This is where the innovation comes, combined using additive manufacturing and composite molding to form a cohesive structure with enhanced strength to weight ratio. So this is how our composite material claim would look like. We have provided both the elements, we have provided how they are integrated, and we have also provided how it is technically advanced. So our claim is also justified that way. Now moving to the method of manufacturing it. So this is how we will attempt it. A method for preparing a composite material for vehicle construction comprising, we are integrating as a first step, integrating titanium wire with carbon fiber using the technique that is there, and then we are forming a cohesive structure using the composite molding technique that they have provided to get a enhanced strength to weight ratio. So our method claim also is over. So for this invention, can you come up with any diagrams? See, for the composite material, there is no diagram that you can come up with. But for this method claim, you may think of just drawing a flow chart, two-step flow chart, basically step 1 and step 2. If you have time and if you want to follow this, you can do it. Otherwise, you may ignore this also. So what is the next step? We'll go step by step, starting with the field of the invention. The format is the invention generally relates to, in this case, the automotive manufacturing industry. More specifically, the invention relates to, we write maybe the composite material, for what manufacturing, providing what advantage, right? And then we move to the background section. Here again, I have used the same information which was there in the question paper, maybe moved a sentence here and there, but most of the information remain the same. The main thing that I do, or that you should also do, is the end couple of lines for the background, which says, there is therefore a need for a solution, a method, a system for doing something. This actually sets the case for your invention, right? Let's move on to the summary section, which is nothing but the paraphrasing of the claim 1 that we drafted. Disclosed is a composite material and method of construction thereof. The composite material includes, you write component 1, component 2, how they are integrated together, and what is the advantage that they provide. Your summary section is done. Next, we move to the detailed description or the brief description of the drawings in case you have chosen to come up with that flow chart. If you observe here also, we are starting with an overview of the invention. The invention provides a composite material for something and the advantage and the solution that it provides, right? Thereafter, we follow the implementation detail that they have provided. What do we start with as a primary material? What is the secondary material that we do? How do we integrate them? What kind of technologies are we using to come up with that cohesive structure or cohesive composite material at the end? And what is the advantage of that cohesive material? How does it help the industry? There is one paragraph in there which talks about how it has applicability in multiple automobile sectors. So I have written that paragraph also here. Followed by this, we come up with the technical advantages, which again they have provided. What is the format? The invention is advantageous in that it provides. You write this further, moreover, additionally, with all these transition words, you can come up with paragraph by paragraph by paragraph. With this, we are done with our detailed description also. After this, we reproduce the claims that we have already drafted, and at the end we write the abstract again, which is nothing but the English translation of our claim 1 that we had drafted. So while we have not specifically spoken about the form 2 format for this particular example, please make sure that you start your answer with that form 2 format. Please make sure that you put that patent agent signature at the end of the claim, at the end of the detailed description. So these are few minor formatting practices or syntax that you should remember. Another one that I may not have kind of spoken about is using the referral numbers. So in diagrams, we have given numbers to components like 102, 104, 106. So in that case, you are supposed to use these numerals in the claims also and in the abstract also. If you go back to the answer of question 1, you will see that the answer has the numerals mentioned in it. So with this, we are done solving the questions. In this session, we came up with the framework to decode the question to identify relevant information that will go in the sections that we need to complete our patent application. In a way, these questions can still be considered as open book exam questions. Maan jao yaar. All the information is already there. And I genuinely feel and believe that the patent office is not looking for you to draft 15-20 pager application, because the information is not there. You should not assume the information. You should not assume the invention. Take the information what is there and plug into the sections. Attempt each section, provide detail for each section. That should be good enough for them to evaluate you, whether you know how a patent application looks and whether you know what kind of information goes in what section. So with this, I take your leave. If you still have any questions, please drop in a message, comment, and please like, subscribe, and share. It means a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.